Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going behind the scenes of a political campaign.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, and let me tell you, things get a little messy.
I bet.
So we're looking at the story from Wired. Canvassers for Elon Musk's America PAC were fired and stranded in Michigan after speaking out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a wild one.
Definitely a side of campaigning most people don't see.
Exactly, and there's a lot to unpack.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
basically the story goes like this. We've got Tyra Muldrow. She's 20 years old from Florida,
Okay.
and her cousin Ebony Jones tells her about this, opportunity to make some money, get involved in politics.
Sounds pretty good.
Right? Like, who wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah.
So she signs up thinking, she's going to be knocking on doors, talking to voters.
Right. Typical campaign stuff.
Exactly. But when she gets to Michigan,
Oh.
yeah,
What happened?
she finds out she's actually been recruited to canvass for Trump.
Oh, wow. So they didn't tell her that up front.
Nope. Left
Yeah.
that little detail out.
Yeah. Pretty misleading.
It is. And to make matters worse, she and her team are all Black individuals from out of state, and they're basically thrown into this chaotic situation.
What do you mean chaotic?
Okay, so they're being transported around in U-Haul vans.
U-Haul vans.
Yeah, like the ones you rent when you're moving,
Okay.
with no seats.
Blue seeds.
No seats. They're just crammed in there, driven around, expect to knock on like thousands of doors every day.
Oh my gosh, that sounds awful.
Right, and they're sharing motel rooms, dealing with this constantly changing environment, all while trying to meet these crazy quotas.
And what happens if they don't meet the quotas?
They have to pay for their own lodging.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's just wrong on so many levels.
Totally. It's like ethically and legally questionable.
Definitely raises red flags about their labor practices.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder how many other campaigns are doing this kind of thing.
Exploiting workers, especially those from marginalized communities.
Exactly. Now here's where things get even crazier.
Okay, lay it on me.
These canvassers were working for a subcontractor called Blitz Canvassing,
Okay.
and Blitz Canvassing was hired by none other than Elon Musk's America PAC.
Wait, Elon Musk is involved in this?
Oh, yeah. He's bankrolling this whole operation.
Wow. I mean, I know America PACs can raise tons of money,
Unlimited.
right? Unlimited sums to support or oppose candidates. But I didn't realize Musk was putting so much money into this.
Millions.
Wow.
Yeah. So Blitz Canvassing is like their ground force, but it seems like they're cutting corners and mistreating workers to get the job done.
That's really concerning. It raises questions about the influence of billionaires in politics.
Absolutely. Like, can someone like Musk just sway elections because he's got so much money to throw around?
Right. It's a big question.
Yeah.
And to add another layer to all this,
Yeah.
Muldrow's group was specifically sent to Macomb County.
Which is interesting because...
It was the only county in the Detroit area that Trump won in 2020.
Exact.
So it was a crucial battleground for them.
They had to maintain support there.
And they were willing to go to extreme lengths to do it.
Apparently so.
This is wild.
It is, and it gets even wilder. Just wait till you hear what happens next.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat.
So they're in this, crucial county under all this pressure to deliver results for the campaign.
Right.
And then Wired publishes this article
Oh.
exposing all these shady practices.
Yeah, I bet they weren't too happy about that.
Not at all. So guess what happens?
What? They fire them.
Yep. Muldrow and the entire team are fired.
Just like that.
Just like that. Some of them hadn't even been paid.
Oh, no. Did they at least get them transportation home?
Nope. They were stranded.
Seriously. They
Yep.
just left them in Michigan after all that.
Pretty much.
That's cold.
It is. It's like they were totally disposable.
Yeah, once they became a liability, they just got tossed aside.
And it gets even worse.
It does.
So Ebony Jones, remember Muldrow's cousin, the one who recruited her?
Yeah.
She starts questioning everyone, asking who talked to the press.
Wow, trying to find the leak.
Right. And like intimidate them into staying silent.
That's messed up. You can't just silence people who are speaking out about bad working conditions,
Exactly. It creates this culture of fear.
where people are afraid to report anything because they're worried about retaliation.
Yeah, it's really scary stuff.
Mm.
Muldrow actually had to be helped out of the situation by this local political consultant, Connor Birdie.
Oh, wow. What did he do?
He pretended to be an Uber driver so he could get her out safely.
That's pretty brave of him.
Right. Putting himself at risk to help these workers.
Good for him.
Yeah. So Muldrow eventually makes it back to Florida, but she's only been paid $69.
$69. Out of the thousands she was promised.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's wage theft, plain and simple.
Definitely adds to the whole worker exploitation thing.
Yeah, for sure.
But here's the kicker. After Wired contacted Jones and America PAC for a comment,
Uh-huh.
Muldrow suddenly gets the full $2,000 she was owed.
Seriously.
Yeah, talk about a coincidence.
Right. Like they suddenly realized they messed up and tried to cover it up.
Totally. And get this, Jones texted Muldrow asking her to tell Wired that she'd been paid. Oh my God, the audacity.
I know, right? Like they're trying to control the narrative and make it seem like everything's fine.
Classic damage control.
Yep. But it's important to remember this isn't an isolated incident.
What do you mean?
The Wired article mentions that America PAC's canvassing app campaign Sidekick.
Okay.
It had been flagged for potential fake door knocks in other states.
Wait, fake door knocks?
Yeah, basically they're trying to inflate their numbers, make it seem like they're doing more voter outreach than they really are.
So canvassers would just mark a door knock as completed even if they never actually knocked.
Exactly. It's super deceptive.
Wow. So we've got misleading recruitment, unsafe working conditions, wage theft, intimidation, and potentially even falsified data?
It's a lot.
This goes way beyond just a few bad apples. It seems like there's a real systemic problem here,
Yeah, and it makes you question the whole ethics of these big PACs.
especially the ones with tons of money, like America PAC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're rich doesn't mean you can ignore the law. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone should be held accountable, regardless of their wealth or political connections.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, all this is going on behind the scenes of the campaigns we see every day.
I know, it's kind of wild to think about.
Like, we hear all the time about, big money in politics.
Yeah.
But then to actually see how it plays out, how it impacts real people,
Uh-huh.
it's pretty eye-opening.
It's easy to forget there are actual people involved,
Yeah.
working hard, often in really tough conditions, just to keep these campaigns running.
And in this case, those people were taken advantage of, mistreated.
Right. And it makes you wonder.
How often this happens.
Exactly. How many other stories are out there that we don't know about?
Yeah, it's kind of scary to think about.
It is. But that's why investigative journalism is so important.
Oh, absolutely.
It sheds light on these things, holds those in power accountable.
Without Wired digging into this story, we might never have known any of this.
Right. And who knows how many other situations like this are happening right now.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the biggest takeaway from now? What should our listeners be thinking about?
I think the main thing is that we can't just sit back and passively consume political news.
Right.
We have to be critical thinkers, question the narratives we're being fed.
Yeah, don't just believe everything you see on a campaign ad.
Exactly. Do your research.
Know who you're supporting, what they actually stand for.
How they treat their employees.
Because the truth isn't always pretty.
And remember, every voice matters.
Yeah.
If you see something wrong or experience something unjust, speak up.
Don't stay silent.
Report it. Share your story.
You never know, your story could be the one that changes things.
That's right.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot today, and it's clear there's still so much more to learn about how these campaigns really work.
For sure.
But that's a deep dive for another time.
Another day.
So until then, stay curious. Keep asking questions and keep digging for the truth.
Couldn't have said it better myself.